Happy New Year, everybody. I think I've said that a lot, but Happy New Year. So as promised, I'm here with a 2023 Numerology Report. This is the energy for the whole year. It's the collective energy for the whole year. It's going to blanket, it's going to umbrella everything that goes on through the year. Major themes come up in a collective year energy report, like major themes, right? Which means it affects all of us. And maybe some of the things I say are not going to resonate. Maybe some are going to hit really home really hard. But I'm just going to kind of try to guide you through what the energy wants you to do, basically, to figure out where you go next, okay? And 2022 was a triple digit 2 year. And I'm going to do a video on triple digits because I have a lot to say about it, but that's not for this video. But that equals a 6, right? And 6 is about love and compassion, social responsibility, family responsibility. So 2022 could have taken a lot of different turns for you. I know a lot of people who got engaged. I know some people who got married. So that was kind of the love vibration. But many of you may be saying, well, it wasn't that kind of year. I wasn't into it. It was a little difficult. But maybe that was because you had certain family responsibilities that, like, there was no choice in the matter, which that can happen under the 6 and that can cause some stress. And that's where the compassion, and 6 is about compassion and service and healing. So that's kind of where that all comes into play, right? Or the love part is the love about yourself and learning how to love yourself and learning how to heal the things that you didn't want to look at. And again, that's difficult, but the 6 vibration may have brought that to the forefront for you. So if that was part of it, where we were looking at the dark sayings and really being able to look at them and then learning how to love ourselves through them, now, this brings us into this 7 vibration year, okay? The 7 seeks answers. That's what the energy is. Listen, it's mind over matter, right? We go from our heart center. Like I always say that. But if we lead with our heart and let our minds follow, it's so important. But what about those minds, right? What about them? The 7 allows us to reflect into that. The 7 allows us to retreat into ourselves and really discover what it means to let our heart lead the mind and not let the mind lead the heart. And one of the reasons that we can do that this year is because we have been able to see and face things about ourselves. And because we're able to do that, it allows us to go deeper within ourselves. It allows us to get into the layers of what's happening. So we could spend some time, it's advisable this year to spend time seeking answers within yourself. So the other words that it represents are quiet, introspective, intuitive, analytical. I know a lot of 7s that are analytical for sure. Inspirational, reclusive, mystical. I love that. The 7 is a sacred number in my opinion. It also has the representation of rest and health. And again, that analytical analyst thinking, right? So in one of the books, it literally says, take a nap. But in all seriousness, 7 has a lot of positive things to it, okay? While we're like retracting into ourselves and realizing this connection of heart to mind and understanding that those 2 things connected, heart to mind, really control the matter around us. So we activate that mind. We're going to activate this connection, which then activates our mind, right? And our minds, led by our heart, leads us to discovering all kinds of things about ourselves and what we're capable of and what we can do. But the 7 doesn't want you to act on it. The 7 wants you to discover it about yourself. It wants you to take the deep dive, okay? Which can be hard for some, but the energy is supporting you in it. So try not to have fear into the deep dive within who you are and what you are and what's happening with you. So the 7 also represents like a completion of some sense. So the year, they say, is you can set your material worries aside. The 7 will take care of things for you so that you may rest and reflect. Okay? So what happens is the efforts that you put in and in the past cycles that have already occurred, so the past years, those rewards that's going to be rewarded to you in the 7 so that your matters can be taken care of. It might not necessarily be monetarily, but it can be. Just know that it's okay to take a vacation. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a nap. The 7 wants you to do this. It wants you to analyze you. That's what it wants you to do. Because once you figure that out, once you figure out your who you are, where you're going, what you want to do, how you want to do it, once you realize or maybe discover the spiritual part of you, the part of you of this heart-mind connection, which then is connected to a source. And that connection to a source brings light into that heart and mind connection. That's what the 7 is about this year. It's about us as a collective, getting to know who we are, realizing the things within us that are good, bad, and indifferent, looking at them differently, and understanding who we are better gets us into a better place and lets us move forward. Lets us use that energy to bring forth where you're going next. Your mind and your heart and mind connection is so sharp that it allows you to take off into an 8-year of good karma and financial abundance. I mean, that's not all the 8's about, but that's where that heart, mind, source connection, this is where it leads to for you. You start to understand yourself so much that you understand where the steps are going and how you're going to get there. So I'm going to tell you, though, that the 7 wants you to rest so much that it really is forcing you to stop, look, and listen within yourself. If you do not do this and you're like, I'm not taking the rest, I'm not taking the moment, this number 7 will do it for you. Example, and I know I've said this before, but this is an example. I was in a 7th vibration month. My personal vibration, according to my chart, I was in a 7th month, right? And I wasn't slowing down. I'm a person who doesn't slow down. I will go and go and go and go and go, and then go some more. But I wasn't paying attention. I was speeding through things, and I cut off the tip of my finger. So now, okay, I'm a massage therapist, so that causes a little bit of a problem. It was something. I remember I realized that I cut my finger and I ran cold water under it and I put a paper towel and I was holding it above my head. And I looked down at the cutting board and there's a piece of my fingertip. And I was like, oh my God, holy shit. So it forced me to slow down. I had to take off a bunch of time from work. Obviously, I can't and it was a crazy experience, but it is a perfect example of what the 7 can do. So please, really just stop, look, and listen. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to chop off your fucking fingertip. You don't want to stub your toe. You don't want to break a bone, because then you're going to be forced to stop, right? And then other things that need to get done are also not going to get done. So really find a way this year to take that time. When you feel your heart intuitively be like, I need to sit down, sit down. Take a moment to reflect. Take a moment to sit. And maybe within that sitting, you're able to kind of like analyze something else, and something else comes up. And again, like I said, don't worry about things. The energy will mysteriously take care of it, take care of themselves, so that you can take care of you. That's what the energy is trying to do. It's trying to say, all that outside work, you've done a lot of it. And maybe in the 6, you were helping family. Well, you're done with that now. And it's time to rest. And it's time to take care of you. And it's time to look at you. It's time to understand you. And in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, any kind of relationship, but, in a partner relationship, you both need to respect that of one another this year. It will aid and it will benefit your relationship. If you respect one another to have the time that you need alone, it's just going to make it's going to make your bond and your relationship stronger, just like you taking the time to go within yourself, and it makes your who you are, your soul, your being, and a more powerful understanding and a different perception of life. So, really respect the people around you, because everybody needs to take a time out. They say that a 7's a good time to take a vacation. So plan a vacation. A vacation where you're not running around, a vacation where you're actually taking a vacation. Maybe go somewhere where those moments of reflection are looking at a beautiful scenery. Maybe that really helps things come into play. And we can drive to places like that. We don't need to spend money and, go somewhere, we don't need to do that. We can go to a lake. You know what I mean? We can take the summer and we can go to a lake and we can camp and really be in nature and have that time to rest and reflect in a beautiful scenery. That's a great thing to do this year. That kind of thing. I mean, you don't have to go camping. I mean, if you have the money to get on a plane and go somewhere that's just like beachy and beautiful, then by all means, go to beachy and beautiful. Whatever works for you. It's the main theme of this. The 7 wants you to rest. The 7 wants you to take care. The 7 wants you to go in. So maybe really, and in that time, you're able to rejuvenate. So maybe you're able to really look at your health and who you are. And I'm not just talking about New Year resolutions. That's not what I'm saying. You really, as you're resting and reflecting, you're able to kind of look at how you can improve your health, and how you can do the things to make it better. And within that rest and reflection, you can start doing those things. You know what I mean? It's like that. You may go through the year and feel that you don't really want to socialize with a lot of people. You just kind of want to be around the people that are sharing the same mindset as you. And that's okay. That's part of the rest and the reflection. This is not, the 3 is about socializing. 7 is not about that. So if you feel like you're being reclusive and you're like, oh, I'm really not, it's okay. The energy is wants you to do that, and the energy is supporting you doing that, and good things will come out of you doing that. So don't be freaked out if you're like, oh my God, I'm spending so much time alone. I don't know what's going on. But I think that it's really good. And because you're reflecting, they call it mental exercise, right? Mental exercise and discipline as best as you can. But for instance, that means meditation, transcendental meditation, sound meditation, yoga, any kind of belief system that you have, and diving deep into that belief system, learning more, knowing more, how it resonates with you and why you believe that, and how it helps you and how that belief system helps you make you a better person. This is something that, and numerology and astrology are also part of this mental exercise as well. So you watching this video, you've already started off the year at a great way. I found that really funny. Sorry, but it's true. So let's really take that into consideration. It's a great vibration. Like I said, it's a spiritual vibration. Going into those mental exercises is going to help you learn more about who you are and what you believe in and how you're connected to it and how it helps you and how you can make it even better for you. And your perception might start to change because you're doing these mental exercises, this meditation, this yoga, this time alone. It really rejuvenates you. The rest really, it's just like that idea that people always say, right? Like, how are you going to help others if you are not in a place to even help yourself? So how can you put yourself all out there when you're not completely like, you need to bring yourself all together before you can put yourself out there, right? And the 7 is going to allow you to do that. The 7 is going to bring that for you. Now, the whole year of course is not going to be about completely being alone and sitting in your room and meditating for 365 days. Like, that's definitely what's not going to shake down, because like I said, every day has a vibration. Every month has a vibration. The 7 is just umbrellaing, I can't even say it, blanketing us. So in the daily and the monthly, when I do them, I will reflect back on the 7 and how it relates to it, and how we can use the 7 energy to help us in our daily and our monthly vibrations when things come up. Just a little side note, the book goes into this thing about how if you're going to sign any documents or legal agreements, anything that's a contract of any kind and under the 7, you need to look at every word, read it thoroughly, read it 3 times, see if there's any loopholes, really, really study it carefully before you sign anything. It's just the energy of it, right? There could be some sort of little thing that you missed the wording of, that you read once and you didn't go back and read again. And then something happens in that contract and it does not go well in your favor. So that's just kind of a little practical, earthly side note that can happen under this energy. So in the 7th month, right, I think that the main theme obviously is to rest and go in and, there's a lot to do with the 7. I'm just going to go to the book because there are a lot of things with the number 7 in them, right? There are 7 colors in the rainbow. There are 7 original planets, originally. There are 7 holes in the human head. There are 7 white keys on the musical scale. There are 7 days of the week. There are 7 days of creation. So 7 also represents in that the pattern of creation, right? The pattern of creation, meaning we rest and reflect to create ourselves. That's what the 7 is asking you to do. After going through transformation and change, which I talked about almost every single day, you're phoenixing out of that transformation into 2023. And as you do that, the 7 is asking you to go inward and really analyze, seek the answers within yourself of who you are, what you believe in, what you want. And this energy helps create the person you are on the other side of this transformation. I hope that you guys have an incredible year. I know that the ups and downs come, they go back and forth. That's life, man. Like, it's life, right? Some things are harder than others. Some things we can like brush off and be like, it's all good. Other things take a minute. But know that if things get too intense, the energy just wants you to rest. Literally, wherever if you can, be like, you know what? I'm going in my room, I'm closing the door, and I'm going to go take a nap because that's what I need. And the energy wants me to. And you will come out of that nap refreshed, better understanding, and a different perception when the things get tough. And know that if you decide not to slow down and you don't take these moments and you don't do it, that the 7 could come in and really affect you and your health and really affect like where things go. And you could be stuck like a sitting duck for a very long period of time. So just be really cautious of that. And again, contracts, be careful of contracts. And, take a class. Seriously, take some sort of like any kind of metaphysical course like we talked about. Numerology, astrology, yoga, and meditation. And then with those things, the things that come on the outside of that, sorry, I had more to say. The things that come outside of that is you can start to have dreams and visions and telepathic experiences because you are reflecting in. When we go down and we go quiet, so much comes to us. We get to be of so much awareness comes. Things come out of nowhere. I know that I've experienced in meditation messages. I've had telepathic experiences. I've had visions that help lead me into something great. So that's another side of the 7 that is beautiful and what can come out of those rests and those self-reflection moments. And I hope that you get to have them, and I hope you get to experience them this year. And you should be. Because after this transformation, your perception in your mind is and your heart to mind connection and your perception are in a whole different place. They really, really are. And even if you don't think that you are, you are. Even if you don't think you went through a transformation, really look back, look at it again. I want you to think about the person you were at the beginning of 2022, and look at yourself now. It may not be huge, but something did change. And this is going to allow you to come into this year of 7, to have these experiences, to understand who you are, really get this heart-mind connection to source, this straight line of beautiful flowing energy that allows you to create yourself again. All right, guys, have an amazing year. I'm going to do a monthly report, and I'll probably post that up in the next couple of days as well. Sorry, this is so long, but I had a lot to say. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if it wasn't or if it was, whatever. I hope that you really get some good information out of this, and it helps navigate through your whole year, and you can go back and reference this whenever you need it. All right, guys, have a wonderful 2023, and I'll see you later.